Hello folks, so today we speak about the second eclipse occurring this autumn in the sign of Virgo. It's important to note that this is the last eclipse that we will experience in Virgo because the eclipse cycle has now shifted to Leo and Aquarius. Similar to the earlier eclipse in September, this one will have you overthinking situations, right? Will create indecisiveness. The difference here is that the situation can actually be unclear, whereas in the earlier September eclipse, it may be more in your head. So there can be feelings of restlessness. Some are trying to do too much at this time. It's a good eclipse, though, for learning new subjects and solving old problems. So let's talk about solars. Let's talk about September's solar eclipse now. All right, so we have a solar eclipse taking place in Virgo on September 21st at approximately 8 p.m. GMT in the nakshatra of Uttara Phalguni at 4 degrees. Ketu will cause this eclipse and will be far away in Leo, at least 11 degrees. Saturn's gaze is right on this eclipse. This is an omen for a transition that is about to happen, right? It could be a change of your status, possibly related to career. There's some fogginess, some confusion. You're reflecting, you're rethinking past decisions. Sun is strong in its own nakshatra, and Saturn is strong in its own nakshatra, directly across from one another. There could be some kind of showdown happening at this time, actually, right? The confusion could also be your place in the world, your career, image, life direction, identity. And this can be causing stress, pessimism. But intuition is very strong now, as Mercury is in its exaltation sign of Virgo, sitting in the moon's nakshatra and very close to this eclipse. Any doubts or fears that arise due to Saturn's gaze will be dealt with rationally, due to Mercury's presence in its own sign. You'll be able to come up with quick, efficient solutions. Especially for Virgo and Gemini, it's an important eclipse. Some change is inevitable at this time, right? You may experience blocks due to Saturn's exact aspect on the eclipse. It's a time to rethink your commitments. Where are you putting your time and energy? Uttara Phalguni is the back legs of a funeral cot. It may be that we're about to take action after a long period of rest, or break, or diversion. With Saturn's aspect, we will see closures and endings. And the coming weeks will introduce new chapters. So, being the last eclipse in Virgo, you can see endings in disputes. You can see endings with ongoing paperwork, resolution of an ongoing problem, right? Some compromise is obviously necessary because Saturn is closely aspecting this eclipse. Uttara Phalguni, where this eclipse takes place, is a self-reliant nakshatra and thus has difficulty in reaching out to others for guidance. We can take a hint from the deity of Uttara Phalguni called Aryaman, which means a friend. A friend can uplift you now in some way, come to your aid, help you open a door. With Saturn's aspect, recognizing real friends and well-wishers will be difficult, right? Who seems to be a friend may not be, so exercise some caution here. But Mercury's position will aid in exercising good judgment and discrimination, because Mercury is exalted at this time. And actually, it's again, as I mentioned, for the earlier eclipse in September, Mercury is going to be the biggest helper, and it will be here as well. It will be here as well. It's a time that you may be making some commitments, maybe signing a contract. It's a good time for that, actually. Solar eclipse has a serious tone to it, though. So you may be going back to a commitment from the past and finalizing it at this time. You may be reconnecting with others from the past. If we want to understand what to expect around the days of the September solar eclipse, we need to see the strength and position of Mercury and Sun. Mercury is in strength and quite powerful. It's exalted. It's sitting in Virgo, 5 degrees away from the eclipse, right? Moon and Mercury so close together, there may be, again, restlessness. You're changing your mind a lot. You know what the issue is. You know what the problem is. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. But because the moon is there, there's indecisiveness. There's restlessness. Discrimination is good, but the moon is causing the problem here, right? It's a good time for connecting with others to solve a problem, to learn a new subject, maybe. We've strongly placed Mercury in both eclipse charts, so we can find some solutions. Saturn is in retrograde, suggesting we're returning to an old matter, right? We're going to nip it in the bud, finally. Venus with Ketu suggests people from the past will feature at this time. There is a nakshatra exchange between Venus and Ketu, which suggests some relationships will finally break away for good. If you're reconnecting with someone from the past, it's a good omen for that. Ketu is in Libra in D9. So again, there's a connection with Venus, right? Reconnect from the past. Final dissolution of a close, intimate relationship can also feature for some people. So it can go either way. It depends on your circumstance. With an exalted Mercury, you'll be in good position to deal with the truths and the facts. Those who are in Ketu Venus Dasha or have the signature in their birth chart will be directly impacted. Of course, this eclipse also impacts Pisces and Virgo, or those who have personal planets close to the eclipse degree, right? As usual, if you have a planet in Uttara Phalguni, then that area of your life will be activated. And you could see some life shifts. So for instance, you have Venus there. This impacts relationships, finances. If you have Moon there, this impacts your domestic situation. If you have Sun there, this impacts your life path, your image, your vitality, right? For everyone, intuition and logic are working in top form, especially when you're trying to judge others. This eclipse falls into the third pada of Uttara Phalguni, which is the Aquarius Navamsha. Again, suggesting it's a great time for connecting with others, groups, friend circles, networking. It's great for putting forth your ambitions, especially where you can enlist the help of a friend, network, or connection. Favorable activities for Uttara Phalguni include making commitments. Uttara Phalguni is a benign nakshatra, unlike Purva Bhadrapada, right? So this will help you get a hint of that new chapter that's ahead of you. But there's something here that we have to let go first, and that's the message from the September 7th eclipse and also from this one. It could be something heavy, something serious, right? Favorable activities for Uttara Phalguni are like making commitments, especially for marriage relationship, founding a business, buying a home, performing ceremonies. Again, giving to charity. Why? Because we're talking about like Saturn is sitting in Pisces. Very helpful. Especially with Venus being 12th from the eclipse, connecting with Ketu. Also good for traveling long distance to reconnect with friends and networks or spiritual pilgrimages. So see where Virgo falls from your moon and your lagna. It's here that you can see some changes manifest quickly. I've made remedies videos on each planet, and for the eclipses, the best remedial measures you can take is to strengthen the moon. This can include simple things like keeping a light schedule 1 week before the eclipse, 1 week after the eclipse, drinking lots of water, doing pranayama, spending more time with family. It's generally advised to go inward at the time of the eclipse, especially with new moons, as the moon is the darkest at this time. Normally at eclipse times, it is difficult to plan, so you can either take a passive approach and keep your schedule light, or you can surrender to what is coming. Most of the time, we have to surrender to what's coming, right? Unless we're living in a cocoon, like, and some people are, which is great. You know, there are chapters in our life or times in our life then we can live in a cocoon and like just take a passive approach. With these eclipses, things will manifest quickly. With Mercury's direct aspect in both instances, in both eclipses, right? Things are going to manifest quickly. So get ready for some hard-hitting changes. And, you know, as I said, by December, you will figure things out, and you will, in some instances, for some people, certainly, you will be like, oh, what a relief, that's gone, and that's done. And now I know how to proceed. Because see, that's the other characteristic of eclipses. Yes, they cause havoc, unpredictable events, unforeseeable events, but they also kind of jerk us into like just getting on with it. Like just getting on with it. Let go. Just let go. Like, because it's hard to let go. Like, it could be something that you've built for many years. It could be a relationship. It could be a career. It could be where you're living. Whatever it is, the basics in life, right? The basics in life, when they get shaken, that's when we respond. That's when we have to make, think about new ways of doing things. Could be health crisis for some people, right? We're talking about Virgo here. Health crisis can often bring an awakening. Actually, it forces you to recalibrate your entire life. And to understand what's working and what's not working. So these eclipses are quite powerful, and they will definitely close the doors that you've been hesitating to close. They will also open you up to new realities, which you won't really, like, you'll start to see the clearer picture in October, but it's not until December you will think, okay, now I understand how to proceed, right? So, all right, well, that's all for now. All the best, folks. Yeah, cheers.